Yes, people. Welcome back to another edition of the ManDem United podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. And like I start each and every live show on the channel, whether it's the YouTube or the Twitch, big up to everybody who is supporting the Sarcasm City TV brand. It's much appreciated and it does not go unnoticed. So big up to everybody who is supporting, much appreciated. And please make sure whether you're watching this live right now or you're watching this back afterwards, again, hit that like button on the video. Hit the like button on the video, share it across all the socials, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. Make sure when you subscribe, you hit that notification bell. It is road to 4K on the YouTube channel. Make sure you go follow the Twitch. It's road to 2K over there. And big up to everyone who's listens in via the audio platforms as well. So big up to everyone who be listening on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or however you listen. Much appreciated. Again, that doesn't go unnoticed either. But yeah, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. And I will get to the comments. But for those that are new here, the ManDem United podcast is a podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep your comments and questions Manchester United related. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the topic that I'm talking about in regards to Manchester United. It can be something different. So get your questions in, people. But as you can see from the title, uncertainty everywhere with Manchester United. And this is something I've said on previous shows, whether it's Q&As, ManDem United's, other just thoughts I've had, and just the uncertainty of Manchester United. So I'll get into that further. Of course, you got Arsenal getting beat yesterday, Spurs and West Ham both winning. United obviously drew against Leicester. So the top four race is still well and truly on. So we will get into all of that. Big up to Nippin who's here. Says big up. You put Arsenal in the mud. La la la. He also says, honestly, I needed this after being clouded by Arsenal fans after losing to Brentford. I hear that. Big up Ashraf, who says flawless lateness is greatness, as your good friend Matisse would say. Shout out Madame Matisse. We were kind of on time today. We were here at 5, so here we go. But I still decided to use that picture anyway, regardless. Pyramid Scheme says lateness is greatness. Get a watch. Yes. Mohammed says big up all the legends all in the building. Yeah, FAC says Arsenal are back. They said, yeah, they was wilding with that. But yeah, let's bump these likes up anyway, people. Let's bump these likes up. But yeah, the reason why I titled this podcast Uncertainty Everywhere with Manchester United was I can never remember a United season just petering out and just being flat. And that's exactly what it is. It's kind of like being at a house party back in the day, and then the party's going well and then a fight breaks out. And even if the party starts back, it's still not the same because of what's gone on. And that's what the defeat to Atletico Madrid did. I did the ManDem United podcast beforehand, before that show, before the second leg. And I said, I think the title of it was, this is season defining. Because that was the last bit of emotional investment. That was the only thing to look forward to, was the Champions League. And it was for multiple reasons. From a selfish perspective, it was just something to look forward to. Did I believe Manchester United were going to win the Champions League? No, but being in the quarterfinals is exciting. Being in the draw is exciting. Whoever you get would have been exciting. The talk, whether it would have been City, whether it would have been Chelsea, Liverpool, or somebody else, the conversations we would have been having here. That's what this episode would have been about today. Would have been about whoever we're playing, whether we would have been about who we playing, whether it was today or whether it's tomorrow. And as soon as we got knocked out by Atletico Madrid, I tapped out on the season. Like, I don't particularly care. We got bigger issues because it's like, yeah, top 4 is all well and good, but it's not a trophy. I don't celebrate top 4. I said at the start of the season, top 4 is the minimum requirement. It's not a celebration. It's not a trophy. You don't get anything for it apart from Champions League. And as you can see, we struggled in the Champions League because we're not good enough. But yet still, I believe we could have got through against Atletico Madrid. But it is what it is. So back to what I was saying is, it seems that's happened with the players. It seems it's not just the fans, because I feel like that. Other fans I know feel like that. Other YouTube content creators, they feel like that. The players seem that way. And even in the ground, the fans seem that way. Like there's nothing to fight for. There's nothing to look forward to whatsoever. And that's why I'm just like, it's okay for the fans to feel deflated, but the players, you lot got to go again. The reason why we're in this situation is because of you lot. And that's the craziest part. The players have to pick this up. The players have to do more. You lot have to perform better. And I think because again, number one, we don't know what's going on with Ralph. So we don't know what Ralph's role will be. So there's uncertainty at every level. There's uncertainty at board level. There's uncertainty in the manager, at the manager level, and there's uncertainty in regards to players. So at board level, the reason why I say that is because we don't know what Ralph's role will be. So let's say Ralph does go into that CEO or consultancy role, I should say. How does that then affect other people's positions and what they're doing currently? If he doesn't go in there, does it stay the same? Then on the manager side, who is the next manager going to be? Who's going to decide who the next manager is going to be? What does that new manager want in place? And then onto the player side, we know the amount of players that are out of contract who look like they're leaving. Like the likes of Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata. That's just 3 off the top of their head. Then you got the likes of, Cavani, that's 4. We don't know what's going to go on with Ronaldo. That's 5. We don't know what's going to go on with Martial. That's 6. We don't know what's going to go on with Donny van de Beek. That's 7. Marcus Rashford, 8. Phil Jones, even though he's not here, that's 9. Eric Bailly, 10. Henderson, 11. I've just named a full 11 players who all play within who all play in our first team, minus Phil Jones, Eric Bailly to an extent as well. So we don't know what's going on. Then the new manager coming in, not only is he going to have a load of players leaving, he's going to want players to come in. So he's going to need, even with our current squad, and that January transfer window hit us bad, even with Martial, Donny van de Beek and Diallo back in the squad, we still need reinforcements. We still need it, even with those. So if you lose them on top of the free transfers, let's say we lose 4 or 5 players, we need 8, 9 players. Now, this squad is mad short. Not mad short in just terms of quality, but mad short now in terms of numbers. So we're doubly screwed. Let me get to some of the comments, see what you lot saying. Big up Ashraf says, flawless, hella man got to go. Shaw, Maguire, AWB, McFlurry, Rashford, Ronaldo, Bruno. You man are wilding with these names. But yeah, I agree. If I seen all of them leave, sure, I have no qualms. Maguire, same. Wan-Bissaka, same. McTominay, same. Rashford, the same. Ronaldo, the same. Bruno, the same. I have no issues. The only one I keep there as a squad player is Bruno. But you just name 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, what's what I'm saying? 4, 5, 6, 7 man. And that's excusing Donny van de Beek. That's excusing Martial, Pogba, Lingard, Henderson. Yo, the list goes on. This is a massive summer window for Manchester United, but just not from a player perspective, because normally you look at it and go, all right, this is huge in regards to players we need to bring in and players we need to get rid of. But not only do we need to bring in players, not only do we need to get rid of players, we also need to bring in a manager, who then we have to bring in the right players that align with what he's trying to do. And then we've got Ralph, and we don't know what's going on with him. If he doesn't go into this consultancy role, all of that's been wasted. All of that's been wasted. This whole thing was a waste of time. Like, what was the point on Ralph gathering intel? The reason why I'm not so harsh on Ralph is for 3 reasons. 3 reasons. 1, he's come into a very, very tough predicament. 2, he's not an actual manager. And 3, he's just gathering intel. He's here to gather intel. If he was the permanent manager, I'd be judging him much harshly, but you're not going to be here the end of next season. You need to give this information, or he should be giving this information to the next manager. So the next manager is not walking in blind. Oh, we'll see. Where are we at? Big up to Dante says, yo, flawless, hope you're good. Dusted Football Club listening to ex-players when appointing a manager living in the past. Also disappointed with Rooney on MNF yesterday. Thought he was talking nonsense. I'm blessed. Hope you're good too. At the moment, we are a Dusted Football Club. We shouldn't be listening to ex-players. We shouldn't be. We should have people in charge who are footballing people and not listening to people who have emotional ties to the club. We are living in the past. What did Rooney say that was so bad? I did see him say that Maguire was world-class. We can build a team around McTominay and Rashford, I think he said. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Keenan says, players are viewing Ten Hag as an underwhelming choice, such rubbish. Let's say hypothetically, let's say that is true, Keenan. Who cares? I've said this before. I don't care what these players want. You are not the employee. You are not an employer. You are the employee. We don't work for you. You work for us. This is how this runs. You are a Manchester United footballer. You are not Manchester United CEO. You are not Manchester United DOF. You're not on the board. You are an employee. You are not the employer. And the reason why these players have no credit in the bank is because they haven't performed at a high enough level. If they performed at a high enough level and United were competing for trophies and winning trophies, they'd have more of a leg to stand on. Don't care. Don't care. Because I want most of these players gone anyway. So I'm not fussed. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. A summer window before the World Cup as well, players will want to move for more minutes on the pitch, just burn the dead ballers such as Rash, Shaw, McShite, Maguire. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We all know. I think for the most part, for the most part, most Manchester United fans agree on who's not good enough. That's a pretty open and shut case. There's the odd one that'll divide like a Bruno. But for the most part, I think most people are done with Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, like players like that. Most people are done. Flawless thoughts on Ten Hag, Poch possibly coming in. This is from Ashraf. I like the Ten Hag idea. I said that he would be, out of everybody we've been linked with, he would be my number one choice, just because he's a drill sergeant, number one. Number two, he has a clear identity, a clear philosophy, which then makes it easier to recruit. It's that simple. Even on those, anybody who plays here, plays Football Manager, or anyone who's listening, watching, who plays FIFA knows we all have identities. When we play FIFA, we all have an idea. For those that see me play career mode, when I was doing it on the Twitch, pace and power. That was it. I had a profile for my fullbacks. I had a profile for my centre backs, my DM, my attacking mid, my two wingers, my two strikers. There was an idea, there's a philosophy. And even on Football Manager, even though I don't play as much, there was a clear idea I identified. When you click that search bar and then you can put in the minimum attributes. I put in the minimum attributes, same. I'm looking for certain players. So it's like, that's what I like about Ten Hag. Plus, he's brand new as well. I like that. He's not been in the trenches. So this is his first war. He's fresh. Not that I don't like Poch. I'm just saying Poch has been in the trenches. Been in the trenches with Spurs. He's now in the trenches with PSG. Whereas Ten Hag's at an all-time high. And I think also Ten Hag won't look at this as like his dream job. He'll look at it as a job. He'll be excited to come in. Don't get me mistaken. He'll be very excited to land his Manchester United. But he's looking at it like Ralph looks at it. Yo, this is a job. Let me do the best. Whereas a Poch or Brendan Rodgers, for example, oh, this is my dream job. This is Manchester United. We need logic here. We don't need emotions tied. We need people making the clear-cut best decisions. So, yeah, I like the idea of Ten Hag. But everybody United have been linked with, apart from Brendan Rodgers, I do like. Obviously, Zidane would be great. Not mad at Ten Hag whatsoever. Poch, the likes of Luis Enrique, even though he's further down on my list. I like the Ten Hag link. EFAC says, I'm not watching another game this season, bro. I hear you. Ex-players and the media keep pushing Poch on us. We're not having that. That's what makes me go to Ten Hag as well. The fact that the media and ex-players want Poch. They're not in. What are their qualifications to be doing? Like, obviously they're getting asked their opinions, but I don't know why people take it on board with such vim. Does that even make sense? But I don't know why people take it on board because an ex-player says, yeah, we should go and get Poch. When just because you're a great player doesn't mean you can pick a great manager. Like, I'm lost as to why people are like, oh, ex-legend wants so-and-so, so let's go and get so-and-so. Why? Was ex-legend picked a manager before that makes you go that, or it's just because we like them because they're ex-legends? I love our ex-legends. Rio, Rooney, all of them. But Ten Hag is clearly the better proposition. He's clearly the better manager to choose from. He's in a better state than Poch currently. Poch is currently under pressure. Like, a lot of pressure. And he's not set. And again, I don't put it all on Poch because I believe PSG is a poison chalice. But it's not like he's set the world alight there. And I'm a Poch fan, don't get me wrong. So it's like, go and get Ten Hag, who has a clear idea. But obviously, Poch did fantastic with Spurs as well. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big Poch fan. I just believe the boat has sailed. That's all it is. That boat has sailed with Poch. That's legit all it is. Big up to BT, says big up Flawless. Large up my guy Jez in the cut as well, says big up. Large up you, Jez. Hope you bless. I'm more focused on the NBA playoffs now. These United clowns are dead to me, says EFAC. I'm looking forward to the NBA playoffs, though. I am. The play-ins and the playoffs, even the rest of the regular season. Flawless, I hear you, but I think this Ten Hag hype is too much. I reckon Poch needs to come first and get rid of the Deadwood and then bring in Ten Hag. Is the Ten Hag hype too? Of course it's going to be hype, though. Any manager who is linked with Manchester United so strongly and the rumors are so consistent, of course you're going to get hyped. Anybody. Ashraf, if you was linked with the Manchester United job, you would get hyped. I would. Anybody in the chat would. Poch had this previously. Mourinho had it when we originally got Mourinho. Anybody is going to get hyped simply because of the machine that is Manchester United. That's all it is. We run media in terms of we're always the story. We're currently sitting 7th. City have a pretty much maybe a potentially Premier League. I mean, a winner takes all game coming up against Liverpool, and people are talking about Manchester United in 7th. They have a winner takes all game against Liverpool at home, where the winner could potentially win the league title. This could be pivotal. But yeah, Manchester United are the biggest news story. and you've got two of the best teams. You got the two best teams in the country, or two of the best teams in the country, two of the best managers in Europe. And look what we're talking about. And I'm not saying just us, I'm saying in general. But I believe Ten Hag or Poch can get rid of the deadwood. Either or. Like, I don't really think that's dependent on the manager. We just need I've said this before and I say this again. Whoever Manchester United bring in, whether it's Ten Hag, whether it's Poch, or whether it's another manager, I just want there to be a clear plan. Short term and long term, there needs to be a plan. Don't go and get Ten Hag because he's just the hottest name. Don't just go and get Poch because it's Poch. Go and sign a manager with a plan short term, right? This is what we're going to do as soon as you land. We're going to identify, this is the style we're going to play. We're going to get these players in. We're going to get rid of these players. Then the next season after, all right, this is the aim this season. The next season, we're going to do this. Similar to how Klopp did when he went to Liverpool. It wasn't an overnight thing. Klopp went in with his style, worked with the players he had, worked out who fits it, who's not. Then he slowly got rid of players and he slowly brought in his own players. That's all we need to do. That's all we need to do. Yeah, you know what, Neil? Yeah, I'm going to send you the link, my brother, because we just played Leicester. Yeah. Give me a sec. Give me a sec, my guy, and I'm going to send you the link. Give me 1 sec. But larger my guy Neil as well. Yo, and wait. How we got over 20, 25 of you lot here, and we ain't even in double figure likes. Hey, mods, get everybody liking and subscribing. You lot taking liberties. How we not even in double figure likes and there's over 20 of you lot? You should always at least be at half the likes. I mean, however many people are watching, there should be at least half the likes. We should be in double figures. We're 23 minutes in. We're 23 minutes in. We should be 100%. Like, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, like I said, there just needs to be a clear idea. I say the same thing all the time. Idea, philosophy, plan. If I can do it on Football Manager, Manchester United can do this in real life. I have a clear plan, an idea, a clear philosophy when I play Football Manager. Say this all the time. Yeah, 4-3-3. This is what I'm doing. My fullbacks do this. My centre backs do this. My DM does this. My 2 8s do this. My 2 wingers do this. My striker does this. And they're all the same profile. Like, it doesn't move. Like, there'll be a player that's cold, but if you don't fit the style I'm trying to play, I'm not going to sign him. That's all I'm asking Manchester United to do is basics. Absolute basics. Neil, I'm going to WhatsApp you now, my brother. Absolute basics. That's it. So, yeah, I don't think it's really too much. And what I like about Ten Hag is as well, he'll bring all of his own people with him. And hopefully aboard, because he's coming from the Ajax system, that's what I like as well. He's coming from the Ajax system, so he's used to, he knows what it's like to have a great structure above him. And hopefully he can come over here and implement that. Even if he brings a Van der Sar with him or somebody else to go upstairs. Someone told me today Conte is younger than Ten Hag. Who started this Ten Hag young manager statement? I don't think it's young. I think it's more fresh, Jess. Ten Hag's fresh. He's not been through the wars. I'm saying, like, he may be older than Conte, but Conte's got more miles on the clock. You get what I'm saying? Like, if this was boxing, Conte might be younger, but he's been in tougher fights. That type of thing. Whereas Ten Hag is fresh. I think I understand why they say Poch, because they've seen him coach in England while Ten Hag hasn't done anything outside of Holland. But that's lazy, Jess, if that's the case. Just because just because this guy hasn't, I'm not saying you saying this, Jess, but if that's somebody's thought process, that's very silly. So just because I've seen this guy in my country, but haven't seen Ten Hag outside of my country, then this guy must be better. No, go do your research. Because to keep it real, what's Poch done outside of England? He was at Espanyol, didn't pull up any trees there. He's currently at PSG and he's not pulled up any trees there. Like, what has Poch done outside of England that is so special? I think everyone is getting out of hand because Ten Hag plays good ball. It'll take a good year or two to install his playing philosophy. But I think that's every manager. If Poch comes in, he'll take 1 or 2 years. Nobody implements their style straight away. You should see. Actually, I tell a lie. Managers can implement their style, but it doesn't mean it's successful. Pep came over and implemented his style at City straight away, but he wasn't successful because he didn't have the players. Klopp came over and implemented his style straight away, but it wasn't successful because he didn't have the players. So you can implement your style straight away. You can instantly see the difference. We've seen Arteta do it at Arsenal, but it wasn't successful at first because he didn't have the players. Pyramid scheme's not having it. He says, LOL, then watch Ten Hag end up with City while we mess around with Poch for 2 seasons. Yeah, we ain't trying to see Ten Hag go see. I want Ten Hag here. That's what I'm saying, but that's just me. Continue to get your questions in as well. Flawless, you hear the 5-point plan that Rouse said the club must do to go back to the top. What was it? Hit me. Hit me. What was the 5-point plan? Because I've heard, but I've not. So somebody please put the 5-point plan in the comments. And I got a welcome to the show. Not making his first appearance on the channel because he's a regular. You'll catch him on Shameless FC with myself and everybody else on Lewis's channel. You've seen him on watch-alongs as well, where he'll join Q&As as well. But his first appearance on ManDem United, of course, he's doing great work in regards to his own club, Leicester City, who we just played on the weekend. Welcome, man, like Neil, to the show. Are you telling me, Neil, you good? Yo, you on mute, fam? You on mute, fam? It's cool. Sorry, no stress, man. No stress. Make sure you go subscribe to Beyond the 90 as well, people. But God.
Okay, now?
I can hear you. I can hear you now. Yes, what are you telling me, man? What are you telling me?
So all good, man. All good. Yeah, big up to YU Jez as well. But yeah, do you know what? Yeah. I knew you got. I told you before. I don't really watch much Premier League football outside of Leicester City. I watched that one. I went, man, you lot of shit. Like, how are you? You know when you were saying like you were that high, I was like, man, you are terrible. And that's me being real. Just like my days, and my green screen's doing a madness. I'm not sure why, but that was surprising, man. I was like, okay, Bruno Fernandes, I was like, that's not going to work. But do you know how bad we've been defensively? And yes, we solid up a little bit. But wow, that was a kamikaze. You know, it's unbelievable. You guys are in the shit. And I think, again, I've tried to say it's from your owners. This thing, they've just tried to patch up with, sign Ronaldo. And it's a similar thing when they signed Ibrahimovic. Oh, we'll just try and patch it up with Ibrahimovic and he'll sort the problems out, won't he? No. So this is an amalgamation of number of years now. This is just all kind of falling in. Even Varane looked like a second half of the Premiership defender.
Yeah, I heard he was bad. I didn't watch the game, but I heard he was bad in that game. You know what I'm saying? I did not watch the game, but I heard he was bad, and I was like, yeah, he's going. And people have been waiting. I'm like, he's going to have bad games, especially in this. But then people want to revise history and go, oh, he's been bad all. No, he's not been bad all season. He had a bad game, which he's had bad games in the past. Like he was bad against Atletico Madrid in the first leg, but then people won't talk about how good he was in the second leg. Like people do always like people been waiting. Oh, I seen tweets like
it's trophies, man.
Yeah, it shows trophies and not show how good a player is. Varane's still quality, but he has bad game. Like there isn't a player who doesn't have a bad game. Like somebody show me these perfect players.
The whole package. I know you're missing a few players, sure, but I mean, there's one thing that you probably I don't know if you caught it as well. McTominay came in with a horrendous challenge on Maddison. He might have going through Leicester Twitter, and it was I would bring it up, but you might get copyright claim. This is not working.
Yeah. But send it through to me anyway. I'll watch it. DM it.
I'll try and find it because everybody's like, "What the hell is this?" And a lot of it was. We could have won that game, and we've been terrible. We're starting to find a bit of form now and come up. We weren't great, but you guys are in a mess. And
which is why I say what I say.
Yeah, but you know when you say something, you're like, whatever. When you see it, yeah. And this coming from a fan that 8 years ago wasn't even in the Premier League.
Yeah, we bad. Why do you think I'm so critical of our players? And this is why I get backlash from some of the fans. But I'm like, the reason why I'm so critical is because of your response to our performance. The fact we haven't won a trophy in so long. A lot of these players just ain't good. I think people they overestimate when they say, oh, players are arrogant or they don't care or it's a lack of effort. Some of those things might be true, but it's a lack of quality. It's a lack of talent. And of course, we didn't have a striker against you lot, and it showed. That's going to show. We didn't have a 9. Because obviously, Ronaldo was out, Cavani's conceded. And you lot are defensively bad. But yet, we still couldn't. And you got Sancho, yes, who's quality. You have Elanga, who's a young kid who you're relying on. Pogba, who is just unmotivated and will be leaving in the summer. Bruno, who's not good enough. McTominay, who's not good enough. Fred, who I heard was good. Like, would you expect to hear the midfield and attack I just named? Like, it's not a surprise we are where we are, but because of the level of the Premier League, and as we seen yesterday, with Arsenal getting beat, we're still in this top 4 race. We're still fully in this top 4 race, and we still have a shot. We still legit have a shot. I've said this for the longest, but
some people don't want to hear it. That's it. But again, from your performance, I was like, right, that was a bad one.
That's regular though, Neil. That's not anything new. That's not like it's a shock. Like, we'll play good in parts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is, but I get to this. Big up to Dante, who says, I love Poch, but my biggest fear is in rating our scrubs, Meat Mills, McMayo, the Fridge, and Burger King. Here's the thing though, Dante. No manager that comes in, whether it's Poch, Ten Hag, or whoever, is going to rate every player that you rate and think they're good enough. Because he might come in and go, you know what? I want to keep McTominay as a squad player, which we don't want to see, but you have to trust the manager and back him fully. I didn't agree with everything Ferguson did. I didn't rate every player he rated. I didn't like every signing, but for the most part, he got it right. And whether it's a Poch, whether it's a Ten Hag, whoever, it's a results thing. They'll live and die by their results and the players they bring in, because he's not going to get rid of all of those players straight away. You can't get rid of 15 players and bring in 15. It don't work like that. It's gradual. Even if you get rid of 7, 8, and then you bring in 5 or 6, because what we don't want to do, it's a cycle. We don't want to recruit wrong. We've seen how long it took Liverpool, and I hate using them as an example with Klopp, but that's the model we should follow, where you bring in a manager, he brings in he brings his system to the team, he puts his philosophy on the team, and he plays it with them players. And we've seen it many a time, like where they'd be 3-0 up. I think Michael Owen said it, which was crazy when he was like, they were 3-0 up, then they'd concede 3, or they were 2-0 up and then they'd lose 3-2. But he kept going with it. And then you bring in players. You got to figure out who's good enough or who's not. A player might thrive. If someone would have said when Klopp comes in, yeah, Henderson would have been there, we would have all said no. We all would have said there's no chance Henderson surviving in that system. But he's been there and has been a part of the success. He's the captain. Whether you rate him or not, he's been a part of the success that Liverpool have had. So that could be the same for some of the players we're talking about. I don't want to see any of these, man.
And part of the success as well with Liverpool is the transfers. I mean, and it's outside of Klopp's control. Let's be real. Klopp has come out and publicly said, I didn't really want anything to do because I didn't really have a say in Salah. But
you didn't want Salah or Mane. He wanted, I think, was it Brandt and somebody else? He wanted Julian Brandt, and then it was somebody else he wanted. He didn't want Salah or Mane, but the board said Salah or Mane. And that's where Manchester United need to go in regards to, get Ten Hag in, identify a philosophy, but then make sure the next manager after Ten Hag has a similar philosophy, so you can use these players in that. That's what it is. Like, same for you with Leicester. Once Brendan Rodgers leaves, you don't want a defensive coach to come in. You want someone like Brendan Rodgers with a similar attacking philosophy to get the most out of the players you have. But,
so I've kind of changed my tune a little bit because the
club
talk
of, about
what it was is that we were, because I'll say we are falling off a cliff. What the club have done is they've gone, right, he's the 5th most paid manager in the world at the moment, and he's underperforming. But what they've done is they've changed up things slightly, and they've gone, right, our owners are still relatively new to football. They've only been, they're still learning. For example, we let Kante go for 35 million. After that, we're like, right, no more caps. We're gonna put high caps on all of our players, as you found out from Maguire, for example. But when we gave Brendan Rodgers a lot of control because, you know how to run a big club. And we've realized this year doesn't know how to. So we've taken the control off him. And we've gone, right, we're going to take control of transfers. We're going to take control of, and we're going to get our people in our positions. You do what, and if you don't like it, that's your job. And I think that's how you have to run it really ruthlessly. The manager isn't going to be the missing piece. As you see, the play, there's a whole project that needs working at Man United. And until that's kind of be complete, you can't even look at challenging for the league. With the strength of Liverpool, with the strength of Man City, you can't look at that. You are at the level of Tottenham, and you don't know how long Tottenham's last, because you look at Conte, yes, he's getting it right so far. However, you know how that kind of, it's like he's here for a good time, not a long time kind of mentality. With Arteta, he's there for a long time, but the team are overperforming. Even, I think Babs will tell you, they are overperforming where they could be because of a young squad as well. You are in that ballpark. You should be pushing to get towards that. Chelsea, we genuinely don't know what's going to happen. They're already protesting the owner. They haven't even got 73% of them want him out. So where Man United sit in that is this it's going to make or break, but you need to get this right now, because otherwise you're going to get even worse, because other teams are going to strengthen and they're going to push up the table, and you're just going to be left flailing.
Facts. Now you are 110% spot on in terms of, that's why it's so important United get this right. Recruitment is key. And this is why I keep saying, let there be a clear idea, whoever we bring in. Because we've had no plan. It's just all Manchester United have done is just sign talent. Oh, he's a good player. Nostalgia. Yeah. He's a good player, sign him. There was no plan. We just, even this window that I like, we signed Sancho because it's Sancho. There was no plan, because you've seen Ollie didn't know how to use him. We signed Varane because Varane's quality. We signed Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo. And if that's the same for all the other players, whether they've worked or not, it was, he's a good player. Let's just bring him in. It was no, because these players don't mesh together. Sancho and Ronaldo in the front three don't work. How you can see that and go, yes, he's what we need. And nobody again in the summer, and I will repeat this, said, looked at the United squad and went, yeah, it needs more goals. We needed a DM, we needed a centre back, and we needed a winger. And we got 2 out of those 3 things. And then we signed Ronaldo to stop him from going to Manchester City. Oh, you don't not sign Ronaldo if he becomes available. Ronaldo's 37.
Same. You signed Fred because Man City were after him.
Maguire was the same.
Oh yeah, Maguire was the same as well.
Maguire was the same, innit? Like, you know, it's ridiculous. And that it's bad. So where do you see
it out? Just do a Saeed and just go get them out of my club. And it depends on how far they're actually going to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. Because that's even though it's uncertainty, it's still exciting in regards to that, because I don't know what's going to happen this summer. Like, I legit don't even know who the manager's going to be. Like, I have no idea, because I think everybody's guessing. Like, I've heard all these rumors come out, or United have interviewed Ten Hag. Is it? I ain't seen no pictures of this guy, nothing. It's just rumors. Oh, there's been strong interviews. Have they been doing it on Zoom? Have they been on StreamYard? Like, what's going on? And then you hear about the split.
Even the official club's going, who's going to be the next manager? What a joke, man.
Even the club don't know. And then you hear a split that half the ex-legends and the players and half the board want Poch, but then the other half of the board want Ten Hag. It's just a mess. Like, the players and ex-legends don't get a vote. You don't get to vote. Like, what do you think? Is this Big Brother?
What do you think? You're on the overlap?
No. Yeah. Facts. Yo, shout out to Lewis, who was on the overlap as well.
Yeah, shout out
Big
to
up Lewis. Big up Lewis every single time, man. Dante here says signings of players should be in direct relation to the manager's philosophy, but the philosophy of the club needs to be the same, so you don't have players which don't suit the system. Yeah, that's my whole point. Is the club should have a philosophy, and then you get managers that fit that philosophy. So even if you're a defensive coach, have a defensive philosophy, you get a manager in who's defensive. Or same way, if you have an attack like that, it should fit. Whereas ours is just a mess. But this is now the time to press the reset button, regardless of where we finish. So whether it's Champions League,
Burnley have a better philosophy than Man United.
Absolutely, you know what you're gonna get with Burnley. Like, you are 110%. Like, the next manager they get, whether they survive or not, is gonna be Sean Dyche-esque. 100%. They'll just go get young Sean Dyche or Tony Pulis or Big Sam. Like, you already know.
Neil Warnock. Go on, get back in.
They're gonna go and get a manager of that sort. They ain't gonna go get a Graham Potter to try and turn it around and play beautiful football. They're not gonna go get a Hassan Hüttel. Like, we know what type of manager they're gonna go try and go and get. Like, we know this, so that's gonna be the interesting part. But I don't even know who's gonna be in, just in terms of players. I don't even know who's gonna be in, because we got so many players out of contract, and then outside of that, players who I reported, we don't know what's going on with Rashford. Ronaldo might not be here. Because I've said this, if we don't finish top 4, I can see Ronaldo leaving. 100%. I can see Ronaldo leaving. But your thoughts on the game, though, Neil? Did you feel Leicester should have won the match? Is that how you were looking at it? Like, we should have won this game. It's 2 points dropped. Or you reckon a draw was like, it's 2 points? Really? Okay. Talk about it. Why?
Man United didn't really create that many opportunities, to be honest, with as playing Bruno Fernandes playing a false 9, it didn't work. Sancho wasn't good enough. There wasn't really any. When a kid like David De Gea had to make a phenomenal save to save Fofana's header.
Yeah.
Chas Michael didn't, and it was a time where, again, we've gone to Man United year after year after year and got maybe a draw. Like, we've lost the majority of times, even when we came into the Premier League. And the only time we won was under Oli, where you played that half team that you switched full rotation ready for Liverpool. So you're looking at that going, right, we're going to go, it's going to be a tough game, but I felt a bit confident. Felt a bit hard done by, to be honest, by that. But there's certain things that were happening in the game, and I was just looking going, what? Nobody knows what they're doing. Even Ragnick looks like he's given up. So I don't think even he knows he's not in for the long run. It looks like, because even the manager looks, the manager, or to be a director, I think they've probably said to him, we don't know what's happening. And if that's the case, he's just been demotivated at work, and he's going, right, well, why am I going to stay here if they're going to give me this kind of stuff? Why am I going to be here? So honestly, from that performance, from what I saw, he may be potential to walk as well, because you're looking at that going, well, the players don't have any idea. The whole point of the manager was to bring a new philosophy. The manager's not really 100% in the philosophy. leaving out somebody like a Rashford was a big ask, considering he wasn't on international duty. So you look at that going, right, okay, what are you trying to prove? And it didn't work. I mean, if you're going to play Rashford over, you would have 100% played Rashford through the middle than Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes has been off form massively. Playing him as a striker, that's not his best position. So it didn't make any sense to me from a Man United perspective. I was happy. Trust me, I was happy looking at that going, all right then. Pogba looked demotivated. He's like, yeah, I'm off in the summer. See you later.
Yeah, he's demotivated. Yeah, he's definitely demotivated, 110%. You know what the thing is? Rashford's been out of form though. Like, it was the same. We were screwed either way, whether it was Bruno in the false 9 or Rashford in the 9. Like, because when I heard Ronaldo was out, I was like,
near the 9. He was just like, he naturally just drifted back into his, I want to be not even a 10. It's like, I'm an 8. I'll see you later. And our defense was just like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. And again, bearing in mind, from a Leicester perspective, Johnny Evans is just coming back from a 4-month injury. Wesley Fofana is coming back. It's his first game since he broke his leg, apart from the first Premier League game since he broke his leg. And my man's doing Ramadan, so he's not eaten nor drank. So you're looking at that going, bruv, come at us. We are still there. Castagne's played 2 matches in now, the second match.
Well.
James Justin is his second match. Our defense is brand new, and it's all coming back from injury. So we were there for the taking. And yes, we're getting stronger, but I don't think Man United was enough for a challenge. I don't say that often, but just give you the context of, and again, we're missing Ndidi. Ndidi's out for the rest of the season now. We're missing Ndidi. So that defensive line is all brand new, pretty much. The opportunity was there to take it. Them players on their day are very, very good, but they're not there now. Mendy wasn't even in the squad until January, so he's come in and had to do a job. So the reason why I'm saying this is to give you context of how bad not how bad the players are, how young in their development they are. And when you come from an injury like that, there's a reason why Johnny Evans was substituted at 60 minutes, because he couldn't last that long. We're still building him into the squad. With somebody like Wesley Fofana, he's younger, so we can let him have more time. And with Castagne and the same with Justin, we can let them have more time to play. And at times we had who's it called? James Justin was giving Luke Shaw, who got taken off, and Telles, he was giving them the run around as well for the entire match as well. James, and bearing in mind, he's getting back to 2 or 3 games. And so, yeah, even like players like Luke Shaw didn't look that good. Telles came on, didn't really.
Luke Shaw's not that good. That's
improvement. Yeah, so that's just telling you, that's just giving you some like individual purposes from my perspective why you should have probably beaten us, but you were the second best team on the pitch easily. And you know me, I'm relatively like, I keep it quite bad.
Yeah. Like, if you lot were bad, like, for those that don't know, Neil will say, like, if Leicester were bad, he'd be like, yeah, we were bad. But but the thing is, even play Rashford up front. The reason why Rashford didn't make the pitch, because he's been awful all season. He's been shocking. He's been abysmal. And the fact, I don't know if it's changed, but obviously when that statement came out and it was like, oh, he's bemused as to why he's not getting minutes and why he's been dropped, it's simply because, your form has been poor. I've said this for the longest. How are you performing poorly at work and then surprised that you get dropped or you get punished in that? No accountability, because under the last regime, there was no accountability. Zero accountability. And this is why you now get him sounding reports, and this is all reports, people, hypothetically, of him sounding disgruntled, of him being disgruntled and worried about playing time. Because you've not been good enough. You came on against Atletico Madrid. That was one of the worst cameos. 44% pass accuracy. 44%. And I'm like, when he's getting onto the pitch against Atletico Madrid, I'm like, prove me wrong, prove everybody wrong. And you did nothing. This is why the fact that that's one thing I do like about Ralph, is we've seen him drop players. He's dropped Rashford, he's dropped Ronaldo, he's dropped Bruno, he's dropped Maguire in parts. And this is good, but he's demotivated because he's realized how bad of a situation he's in. And the fact that he originally came in, tried to play the 4-2-2, that didn't work. These players, again, outside of talent, just don't want to apply themselves. Like, they have to start all over again.
Have you given Bruno the new contract yet?
I believe so.
Okay, like officially by the club and that?
Yeah, I believe so. Whether that's true, I don't know 100%. The chat will let us know. But if we have, that just makes no sense.
Because I've read the rumors, but I didn't see it officially announced. Because again, that's the sign of bad management. Because you wait till the summer, you've got 2 years. Like, we did that for Wesley Fofana, made perfect sense. Young guy, 3 years on his contract, can potentially be a world-class player. Again, according to a lot of people, not just us, but he can be a very, very good Premier League defender. Getting him in the squad, getting him to 2027 makes sense because you secure your future talent. We've done that with a couple of players already. So you're looking at that going, right, what has Man United done? Give it to Bruno. And even Man United fans are like, really? That doesn't make any sense. So it doesn't scream anything to me. Potentially, I think if you could have attracted the likes of James Maddison, potentially, if you didn't sign him and get another player in. And he was rumoured for a while that James Maddison would maybe be interested in coming to Man United because obviously it's his boyhood club and stuff like that as well. I can't see him doing that now. So for where we are at the moment, I can just see that the board just tend kind of you look at what Everton have done and with the shit they're in at the moment, it's kind of a similar vibe because they're just going, no, yeah, we're just going to do what we no problem. We're going to get no number 9s and like 4 number 10s in because they're all worth it. And then look at the predicament in it. I'm not saying you're going to do that, but there's a running case of look how bad it could end up.
Yes.
With a quality squad, it could get a lot worse. And considering the talent around you isn't that great, you should be a lot lower in the table. And because Kavir is also quite scrappy anyway that you got wins out of. Again, you got wins, but it's not filling me as a neutral with confidence that yes, Man United are back. Man United are fighting for top 4 every single season because we don't know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, we don't know what's going to happen, and yeah, that just the Bruno signing of the new deal just shows how bad we are. Sign a new deal to 2027. Same with Luke Shaw. It's like, why am man getting new contracts? It's not like their contracts are running low. But I think his current deal was like, I think it was 2025, so it was a 2-year extension. So I'm like, why? Yeah. I don't get it. Like, what happened to the point where it's not like Bruno was leaving. It's not like clubs were circling around Bruno. Same with Luke Shaw. But that's what Manchester United continue to do is bad business. Is Bruno 27?
Yeah, he's 27. I thought he was older.
He might.
Yeah, Wikipedia says.
Is he 27? Yeah.
Yeah, 8th of September 1994.
So he's 27, so he'll be 28. Obviously,
32 by the time he finishes contract.
Yeah, like good. Like the only thing I can think of is United are not trying to go through what will happen this summer, and are not trying to lose players on a free. That's what it is. Not like we was going to lose Bruno on a free, but they're panicking because like Pogba will go on a free, Lingard will leave on a free, Cavani's looking like he'll leave on a free, Juan Mata. And one thing they want to do is make money on these players, so it's protecting the investment. Because BT says I would have sold Bruno in the summer, too late now. I don't think him signing doesn't mean he can't be moved on in the summer. The problem is we need to keep him because our midfield is bare. Like we legit could be with Matic. It could be Matic. If say Matic leaves, it could be McTominay, Fred, Bruno. That's it. It could be McFred and Bruno in terms of just our options, people. You think Pogba's leaving, if Donny leaves, if Matic leaves, that leaves us with just those 3. And we already needed reinforcements with those 3 here. So I think that's why as well. I'd like to see Bruno leave, but it's not plausible. He has to stay just to have United are at the point where we just need bodies. Legit. It's not even a quality issue. Like we just need players to get us through, depending no matter where we finish, but especially if we're in Europe, which I do believe we will be in some form of European competition, whether that's Champions League or Europa League or the Conference League, we're gonna need players. Add on top of that FA Cup, League Cup. Like you're in 4 competitions. You need all of the squad depth. You can, and you need to. This manager's already gonna struggle, whoever he is. Like I feel for this new guy coming in, and especially on top of that, if Ralph doesn't go into the consultancy role, because you're starting from scratch. You don't even have the intel from Ralph. Like it's wild. Yes, with BT, I agree.
Yeah,
we do need
match of the day. That's it.
Need another belt. Facts, and I don't tell the full story. Trust me, I don't tell the full story whatsoever. But we'll see. So where do you see? So Leicester, obviously, you lot ain't gonna get relegated. Not gonna get European football. It's looking like. So it's all in the Conference League for Conference League for you lot. So how are you looking at that competition?
We have to be in it to win it now. We have to be in it, and what it was is that we're getting to a stage where in the group stages when Tottenham played, it was a it was a shit competition because you're playing like the 6th in the Slovakian league and stuff like that. You're like, who? Now we're getting now because the Europa League was actually competitive this year. Like there was quite a few good teams in it. The good teams then, like us, have dropped down to the Conference League. So we've had Rennes in the last round. We've got PSV in this round. So they're decent enough Premier League teams. It's not like we're playing the Vikings of Sweden in the 4th division. Do you know what I mean? We're playing actual decent people. So the competition is there. It wasn't in the group stages. Let's get it real. But now we're there. Yeah, we had Rennes, who are currently second in this Ligue 2, Ligue 1, sorry, and then you've got PSV, who are second in the Dutch division. Both of these have been in Champions League. They want to play in Champions League football, and they wanted to win this competition. So we are competitive enough. We are good enough to beat them, but it's going to be hard. I mean, they've got Goetze up front. Against our defense. I mean, he's getting on a bit, but still, Mario's Goetze. I mean, he scored in the World Cup. So I don't really know that much about Dutch football, but listening to previews and listening to PSV fans and stuff, and they go, they're a decent enough team. So the only way really that we're going to get European football is by going into by going deep into the Conference League. And by deep, I mean, there is no excuse now. We need to win it. And it would be a failure if we didn't. And that's not me being carried away. That's just me being realistic. I mean, it's kind of like the gold trophy is kind of Champions League. The middle tier, the silver tier is Europa League. And then Conference League is bronze tier. We are good enough to win this competition. And we're getting players back now. We are getting the defensive players back, and we're pushing in the right direction. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That's where we want to be. We've had an off year. But from speaking to people and just going, look, write this year off. Things are starting to come back. Give it the summer and then go again and see if we can push for a top 6 or challenge, because that's the whole point of it, to try and challenge the top 6. Not win it, but be around there to challenge for the top 6.
No, I'm having a look here. Obviously, you're in the quarterfinal, like you said, against PSV. And then you got other teams. You got Feyenoord, Slavia Prague. You got Marseille versus a Greek team I've not heard of. And Roma are in it as well against... I have no idea. Let me see who this team is. Who is Bodo Glimt?
Some of I can't lie. Some of them.
The
finals in Albania. But yeah, bro, they're in the Arctic Circle. I swear to God, they are literally Eskimos at this point. It's not complete like that. I'm just saying that the couple of ours, but it's not like, oh, we're going to Azerbaijan and playing their fourth team. Yeah. There are a couple of them. I'm not saying it's completely like that, but just to showing you, we played Rennes and then we're playing PSV.
You're playing teams we know of, like actual have some form of European pedigree. Yeah.
I like someone said, and you go, oh, I've heard of them. Oh, I know of them. We played them in XXX competition. Yeah, I can't say that about
certain teams.
So for example,
Roma in the semi-final if you win is potentially as well. So you could potentially come up against Mourinho. Would you prefer to play Mourinho over 2 legs or in the final?
I just want to win it. I don't give a shit.
You just want to win it. You just don't care.
I don't care. And that sounds really big-headed, but I'm not in a quarterfinals to go out now. I want to go all the way and win it, you know? So, again, it's me just being realistic and honestly where the ambitions of the owners are as to go on right. Kind of the Premier League, let's try and finish in 9th. And then all the eggs go into it's the reason why we kind of played a weakened team against Arsenal, so that we could have a strong team for the second leg against Rennes, so we could put in a good performance. The Premier League doesn't really matter, but we still want to finish in that 9th position. We still got a couple of games in hand. So the little group of us, Brighton. This is something we haven't roasted Ryan about. Their record is worse than Norwich's in the last 7 games.
Yeah,
worse.
Hey Ryan, hold that. Norwich. You know what I'm saying? Hold that, Ryan. Hold that.
I looked at that. I'll bring it up now, and I'll show you the what is it called? I'll show you the fat amount of L's on this one. If I bring it up here in the Premier League table, look at this. I know they're on -45 and Brighton are on -10. But look, the L, or if you bring it up, the lows are, if you're looking at that, again, where Brighton, bearing in mind, they were all the way up there in the top 4. Now, look at that, L, D. Same as, so same as Burnley in reverse, and the same as Norwich.
Yeah,
who Brighton drew against Norwich. So you're looking at that. Yeah, but even then, if we come up to there and looking at Manchester United, I mean, you are there and thereabouts up there.
Yeah, we still with a shout. No, it's not done. And that's the crazy part is everybody was talking like on socials, shameless. You had Babs talking, Jan backing it up, talking about I'll tell you this, and I was saying this ain't over.
She just fancies him, and that's okay.
Not. Yo, you reckon she just fancies Arteta? You reckon it's that?
Yeah,
I thought it was the City link, but it could be that still. You know what I'm saying? It might be both. It's the City because he's
Why
at
not both?
City and
Yeah.
she's City. But you know what? For purposes of the show, we'll just say both. Yeah. So Jan City fancies our turn. That's what we're running with, and that. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we'll just blame Ryan. Yeah. We'll just blame Ryan in it if that's the case, because she won't watch this shit back. So we good. So yeah, in the group chat, I would just write that in the shameless group chat, like, yo, Ryan, why are you saying Jan fancies our turn? That's why she's backing. Brilliant, innit? And then you gotta back it up and be like, yeah, you said that on the show. But yeah,
that's what we do.
Make sure you check out Shameless FC, people. Like I said, for those that haven't seen it, Neil is a member on there, as am I. Then you have Lewis, you have Babs, you have Slavs, you have Jan, you have Ryan, all representing our individual clubs. There is a playlist for it on this channel. So if you go to this channel, you go to the playlist and you click Shameless FC. I always add him there so you can just see him on and just see the carnage that ensues. But yes, people were, because that's back to Manchester United again. People get your questions in about United or Leicester or the top 4 race as well. People were talking like the top 4 race was done. And I was saying this for the longest, it's not over. And the reason why this is, as bad as Manchester United have been, we are still in the race. This is why I've said on Shameless, I've said at other points, there's 3 quality teams in this league. Everybody else is not that good. Because people will talk about how bad Manchester United are. We're still in the race. Arsenal lost their 9th game. 9th game they lost. And they're 5th. And they're still in contention for 4th place. That should not be happening.
West Ham are on similar points, have lost 10.
There you go. How you lose? So they're both. So all teams, including my own, probably are going to lose more than 10 games. And one of us are going to finish 4th. You could be 12, 30 games. People forgetting Arsenal have to play the North London derby. They go away to the Bridge. They also play United. They play West Ham. That's 4 of their last however many games they've got left. Like, they're tough matches, people. North London derby, which Spurs are going to be up for. Away at the Bridge, which is tough. United at home. And they play West Ham, I believe, at home.
And one thing even that Bavs has said is that a few injuries to key players will decide their season as well. We've just seen that Tomiyasu's out. We've seen the what's his name? The left back Tierney. He's out for the rest of the season.
Both fullbacks out.
Okay. Hobbled off. So you're looking at these, and Bavs has waxed lyrical about Partey this season. Them 3 players are not massive players, especially Partey in that midfield. They don't really have anybody that can replace him. Let's be real. So you're looking at that going, right, okay. And after losing to Crystal Palace, which, again, it's not surprising, but I said this to Robbie when he came down. So it sounds like I'm plugging, but still. I said,
fam. He was on Don Robbie's on the Don Robbie stream, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
plug away, fam. It's calm.
It was more because I supported a team that was young and was growing, and we kind of at a level now we're starting to grow a little bit more. You will get results like this, and that's because you've got a young manager, a young team. You just got to get behind them and just get on with it. Put that result behind. If you put the result behind you, get on with the next match and just get on with it. If you're Arsenal, because you can't dwell on things like that. And I think with social media now, everything's so quick, and everything happened in the first 48 hours. In the last 48 hours, happened in the entire since you started the beginning of the season. It's not like that. They're still a good team that are performing very, very well, considering the situation that they're in and the players they've got. They are a young team and they are developing, but they're going to have off games and they're not going to get it right all the time. Only the top managers really do. I'll tell you what, Arteta's been complaining about the fixture schedule, which is fucking hilarious. I'm like, yeah, you want to be a top manager now. You're trying to be a Klopp.
Facts. And their fixture list isn't easy. This is why when people were talking like it was done and Arsenal were putting together compilations with Champions League music, like, no, this is far from over. And them results can happen. And the thing is, nobody was shocked by them getting beat by Palace. It wasn't a surprise. They were talking about 3rd and catching Chelsea. And like, you got to cement 4th.
Let's say they do get 4th, right? And they say we get to the end of the season, they get 4th. What group of death are they going to be put into? They're going to be put in pot 4, a top level team as pot 2, pot 3, and they're going to be 4th. And if you find out how hard that's going to make everything, if you're a top pot 4 team, look at the World Cup and look at the pot 4 teams and who they got drawn against. It's going to be murder. So they won't have the strength and depth unless they buy in like 12 players to change and have 2 different squads to compete at the Champions League level. So it's going to be a process. Europa League might not be a bad idea for them because they've got, we can actually go and try and win this competition and win a European trophy. Because you've got to think about, if you want to back Arteta for the long time, you've got to think about this project in 5 years. You've got to think about it just for next year. And with that, you have to build and build and build. And they've been doing it last year. Cool. but you've got to go again in the summer. And maybe Champions League is a step too far. When we went into it, we were in pot 1. We were easy when we won the league because we were in pot 1. So we had a tier 2, a tier 3, and a tier 4 team. If you come up against, and you're gonna look at what you can get a Juventus, or you're gonna get, and you know what they might get Bayern Munich. Lord have mercy, you know what they're like against Bayern Munich.
If they get Bayern Munich, it's gonna be peak. It's gonna be peak if they get Bayern.
Do you see what I mean? So again, even if they get 4th, it's not, oh, we had Champions League, great, but what's the chance of them leaving the group stage? Because genuinely, with that young team, a young manager, a young philosophy, sure. Babs, I think I was hearing a little bit where I tuned in briefly to the last Shameless, where he talks about, oh, we're going to do bits in the Champions League. You're having injuries already just doing the Premier League. If you add Champions League on top of that and the quality of Champions League that you're going to come up against, it's not going to be easy. But that's okay. Don't think about this year. You have to think about this in 5 years as a project and you're building.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not coming in looking at their fixture list now. So they got Brighton at home, where you would, even with their injuries, because of Brighton's poor form, which Neil just spoken about, you would expect Arsenal to win that. Southampton away, which won't be easy. Then 4 days later after that, they'll go away to the Bridge. Then 3 days later, they're at home to Manchester United. And then a week later, they're away at West Ham. That's 4 tough games. So take out the Brighton game. Southampton away, Chelsea away, United at home, West Ham away. If they weren't to win any of those 4 games, I don't think anybody would be surprised. That's not an easy running. Even if they were clear, even if they win the game in hand and are 6 points clear, those 4 games are not easy. Yeah, go on.
And where do you put that game? You'll have to put it midweek where somebody has Europe and stuff like that. That will mean you're down from that 1 week period. I think they'll put it in the middle there. So you'll have 4 games. So you'll have a game every 4 days pretty much until the end of the season because you've got a game behind. So when you've got that position in there, you go, right, this is what it's like to play in the Champions League or play the equivalent of Europe and that, but just kind of a condensed season. Can you hack it? With this current squad, can you hack it? The answer in reality is no, because Babs has said, if a few key injuries happen to a few key players, then things start to go wrong. We've seen that now. So now is the test of, right, let's see what you can do for the rest of the season. And it's a turning point. It genuinely is, because with your players against the wall, it shows you the mentality that the manager and the players have. Have you got the quality to go and grind out gutsy performances game in, game out, 4 days a row at a time?
Facts. And that's where that stems from, because even after that, so even after the West Ham game, you're at home to Leeds, who will be most likely in a relegation battle. Then the big one, North London derby away to Spurs. Then you have Newcastle away, I might not be playing for anything. And then at home to Everton on the last day, who could be fighting for their relegation, could be fighting for their survival in the Premier League. What I'm saying is it's not easy. Like them 3 games, the 2 last games are more favorable, like your Newcastle at home to Everton, even the game against Leeds, but it's not easy. It's not all she wrote as people were talking. Like people were talking like top 4 was over. I'm like, since when? And we were in March. And the like I said,
when people were saying that about us when we were there, we still dropped out the last couple of years. So it's never really over. Liverpool went on an unbelievable run, and we lost out. And again, it's kind of coming back to it. It's never done. That's why I wasn't confident saying we're going to get top 4, because I've said we'll see. And then it happened again. So you're like, right. And that's because, again, we had a short squad, young, the young manager, where things are building for the future, but we've got things in place for that we can kind of compete.
And let's say hypothetically Arsenal do win their game in hand. That would put them 3 points clear of Spurs, and it will put them 6 points clear of United with 8 games to go. You still got 24. You still got 24 points to play for. Like, that's a lot of points. You're only talking 6 points, 3 points. Bear in mind, both United and Spurs play Arsenal as well. Adding them playing West Ham. Adding them playing Chelsea. Adding them playing Newcastle. Adding them playing both Leeds and Everton, who could potentially be fighting for their Premier League survival when those games take place. Like, it's just all I'm saying is it's not what you wrote.
Play 5 at the back.
100% they'll take a point depending on where they're at.
And they'll just sit in and go, right, we need every point we can get. Now, I've been there. Trust me, I've been there with Leicester City not that long ago. Get the point. Just get the point and get out of here. Okay, cool. We've got the points. Right, we've got a point, but that will be 2 points dropped for Arsenal. And with Spurs coming into form, it looks like things are starting to click. Again, it's Spurs. Anything's possible. They are a rapid machine gun as well.
Now it's Conte is the guy. United should have got Conte. Spurs are going to get 4th. But a few weeks ago, it was Spurs are done. Conte's done. Everyone just flip flops. I'm like, wait, you can clearly see these teams are all inconsistent. Let United go on a run. It's Ralph was the right choice. This is now United's to lose. Like anything, like you say, anything can happen. It's inconsistent. Yes. Oh, just one big win. Let United win their next game 4-0. Let us beat Everton 4-0 on the weekend. And it's all hell United. Oh, they're back. Ronaldo scores twice. Bruno scores twice. United are back. This is what they need.
See all the articles from the media. Best player ever, blah, blah, blah.
It's ridiculous. I'm like, get a bigger sample size. Once a team starts getting 7, 8, 9, 10 points clear, that's when I'm like, okay. Once you start becoming 3-4 wins away from your competition, that's a whole different thing. 2 wins can easily be done. Couple draws, the team get a couple wins, they're right back in it. But once it becomes Liverpool, 8, 9, 10 points, it's Liverpool, Man City example. Because I thought that was done. But
I thought it was
Liverpool, done. Like
I'm glad it's not, though. I know you don't. I know you're like, fucking out. I've got like the devil and the arch nemesis. What am I going to pick?
It sucks either way. You know what I'm saying? I have to deal with Ryan or Jan. Like, it just
it's
don't.
like you want to be robbed or burgled. Shit me, man. Yeah. It's not a good choice, isn't it?
I'm saying it's like, do you want to get stabbed while you get robbed, or you just want to get the knife waved in your face?
Fire. Up to you.
Yeah. It's literally that. And that pyramid scheme, I'm not saying United do go on a run. I'm just saying hypothetically, if United were to go on a run, it would all the narrative would change. Social media would be Ralph was the right choice. This is why he should be the manager. United are now going to finish top 4. Because now we've seen it Spurs. Spurs' run is actually the most favorable on paper. But like you said, it's Spurs. Somebody's got to create a big enough gap. 3, 4, even 6 points ain't enough. I'm talking 8, 9, 10.
Invincible to the end of the season.
Yes, it ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Because even if you look at Spurs' fixtures, again, they're favorable. But then we've seen Spurs lose at home to Wolves, Southampton back-to-back. Who would have thought that at that point? And then he went away to Burnley and lost, and Conte lost his marbles. Because they play Villa away on Saturday, which won't be easy. Brighton at home, you'd think they win. Brentford away, hey, ask Chelsea fans about Brentford. You know what I'm saying? That's not an easy game. Then they play you lot at home. Obviously, Leicester will probably be more concentrating on the Conference League. Then they play Liverpool away. It's not going to be easy. North London derby, which we spoke on. But then they have Burnley at home and Norwich away, who both could be relegated at that point. Could be.
And also as well, just coming to a point again about Arsenal, but even about Spurs and about because Conte's record in Europe is not good as well. So if they get that 4th position, it's not going to be great. If you guys get it and you are in a position at the moment, it's not going to be easy. Whoever gets that 4th space, because of the top 4 you're going to be put in, it's not always easy. Like when you guys beat us at the 3 seasons ago, when you guys on the last game of the season, you got it over us for the last 4th spot, and then getting knocked out. So you go into the Champions League, yes, you get a bit of boost of money, but you want to progress in the competition. You don't want to be knocked out of the group stage. What's the point in waiting all that time and go, fine, we got 4th, great, happy days, everybody's happy, and then you get knocked out and you get in the group stage, and then you
broke up a little bit there at the end.
A couple of months later.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it is. It's cool. You just want to make the numbers. Nah, it's cool. And this disgruntled blogger says, unfortunately, Flawless, we haven't even gone on a 4-game winning streak in all competitions, and you expect it to happen now when half of them players are either out of contract or are looking to leave. I didn't say I expect it. What I said was, if it happened. I'm saying if United went on a run, not even on a run. Neil was right. If United beat Everton very well, and Everton are poor side on the weekend, the narrative will change, is what I'm saying. If United win and say Spurs drop points, Arsenal drop points, it's all hail United. They're favourites for top 4. This is why Ralph's the guy. He should stay in. Conte needs to leave. The players at Arsenal are too young, etc., etc. Whereas if we lose and Arsenal and Spurs win, then it's a whole different conversation. I'm saying everybody flip-flops. Yes, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I expect us to go on a run. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if. Like, you see the look at the difference between Arsenal fans tweeting before the Crystal Palace game and after it. And look at the whole narrative. Because if Arsenal would have won, top 4's done, according to a lot of people. Like I said, people were putting together compilations of Arsenal with the Champions League theme in March. The season is far from done. You still have a lot of games to play. A lot of games.
20 points behind Liverpool and Manchester City, there or thereabouts, for top 4. 20 points. Are you high?
And it'll get bigger.
20 points.
Yeah. And it will get bigger. That's the crazy part about it. So all I'm saying is that that's why I wait for a bigger sample size. I'm waiting for a bigger points points margin, or bigger points gap, I should say. And I'm waiting until there's 3-4 games left, and then that's when I can start to judge. If United are 6 points off and there's 3 games left, probably ain't gonna do it. But we're still well within the race. And like I said, do I believe, can Manchester United finish top 4? Yes. Of course, they'll be favourites. No, you would still go with Arsenal because they have a game in hand. However, their running's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, their running, whereas look at Spurs, their running looks kind, but we've seen Spurs mess up. Jez said it. I was on the Q&A yesterday, and Jez is a Spurs fan. And he'd be like, it'd just be like us, need to win on the last day. Burnley are already down and we lose. That would be Spurs. Nobody would be surprised if that happened. Norwich are already down and they lose to, or they draw to Norwich or something like that. We've seen Spurs do this before. There's a reason Spurs is a verb.
As a neutral, it makes it fantastic.
Yeah, it must be great for you.
It makes it really good. Not obviously, I've got a bias towards my club, but coming for the top 4, couldn't care. But everybody's got their positive and negatives about it, and I think that's great because you're looking at going right. And in the same way, the title race is interesting because it's not just you remember when it was like Chelsea and they were running away with it, and they and it was under Conte and they were just gone. It's like, right, okay, what other race we're going to look at because this one's done, and at least it's there. So we are in that position, you know. We it's in a position where everything's interesting. Relegation is another interesting battle.
Relegation is mad interesting.
Yeah. So you're looking at that. We're just in the middle, like we're just floating around Deadwood FC at the moment, which is fine. I mean, I'll take that over being drawn into a relegation battle, but I'll take a 9th place or something at the end of the season because, yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, I think one of your comments mentioning Villa being overrated, and I kind of.
I like it, says it, yeah. Villa easy. They are so overrated. It's not an easy game. Even if they're overrated, Villa's not an easy game.
No,
it's not easy. It's not an easy game
Arsenal
because they
grind out a result.
They have quality on the pitch. Like that's why I would say Villa's not an easy game whatsoever. Like I'm not trying to see Villa in this running. I think he was talking. I mentioned somebody play Villa. 1 second. Let me run through it again. Hold up. Let me pull up the table. What's going on here? But yeah, that's to my point. Is like there is favorable games on paper, yes, but you're not looking at it like. That's a guaranteed 3 points. There's very few games I look at and go guaranteed 3 points. Absolutely. Because like Spurs play, I put it this way, Villa play Spurs this weekend. If Villa were to win that game, nobody's going to be surprised. That's not a surefire 3 points for Spurs. Do I think Lampard will get sacked before the season's done? No, I don't think he will, disgruntled blogger. No, because they've just brought him in. There's no point in sacking him now.
It's Mashiri. Nobody knows what's going to happen with that.
I think they're in trouble. They are really
in trouble, yeah.
They are in massive trouble, like huge trouble. Like as soon as they appointed him, I was like, yeah, they in the relegation fight.
But
110%.
Imagine that's the best manager they could get. I genuinely couldn't think of a better manager that they could honestly get. Lampard was the best they could get.
That's terrible. But might as well have stuck with Rafa.
Yeah, or Ferguson.
Might as well, I'll stick with Ferguson. You don't go and get Frank Lampard. You don't get Frank Lampard, who has been conceding goals for fun. He was conceded goals for fun at Chelsea, and he's done the exact same at Everton. I think they've conceded on average 2 per game. We're in the January transfer window, needed to shore up the defense, and he signed Donny van der Beek and Dele Alli. Tells you all you need to know. Yeah, so that's it. I'm here looking now, even at United's fixtures. So, of course, we play Everton. Speaking of them, like we should, even though it's at Goodison, United should beat Everton. We play Norwich at home. Again, it's a game, but then it gets after that. That's where it gets tough. Away at Liverpool. We ain't getting anything from that. It's going to be very tough. Away at Arsenal, again, it'll be tough. Home to Brentford will not be easy. Away to Brighton, you look at and go, yeah. Home to Chelsea, even though we have a good record against Chelsea.
Winnable,
like that's not easy. And then Crystal Palace away, you know what I'm saying? Which again, depends what Crystal Palace are fighting for at that point. 100%. And then that's that. Right, they already got the friendly games in already in there. Play Liverpool the 12th of July. I was thinking, what's going on? Crazy. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I say, Spurs have the most favorable in the top 4. And Spurs, to me, even looking at West Ham's, Spurs have the most favorable fixtures. But that doesn't mean Spurs will finish top 4. There's going to be points dropped. All of these teams are going to lose again. They all play each other. West Ham are well in it. Like West Ham play Chelsea as well. West Ham are well in the mix. Well in the mix. Spurs play teams around in and around them, as do Manchester United and as do Arsenal, as we spoke on.
West Ham have Europa League, and that's
they might focus on that.
Which makes sense, of course.
Yeah, because that's a way in. Not only is it a European trophy, it's a way into the Champions League as well. So I can see them focus on it too. RJ says, would you take Zaha at Leicester?
Depends over who on that right hand side. Well, it's not a realistic thing because let's face it, he is Crystal Palace at the moment, as in he's the guy that's gonna. So taking Zaha out of Leicester, out of Crystal Palace, it's not something really that I think about. But I think we are a bit nice. We are a bit like, okay, no problem. We need to have a little bit more grit, and Zaha would give us that on that right hand side. We don't really have a right hand side. We always got is Albrighton, really, that's an out and out right winger, and even then he can play on the left. So we don't really have that player that can play on the right hand side. I would, but it's a highly unlikely thing to happen. Highly unlikely, very unlikely. I think he's kind of got his bed and he's there. And you look, Vieira's, he can see the future of what they're going to build. 3 players there got called up for England. I know me and Flores are not big England fans, but if you're a Crystal Palace fan, that's a massive deal. The fact that your left back from your academies got called up, Gallagher's got called up, sure, he's on loan, but you've got Geeky again. He came into your academy, but he plays for you, and he's gone to there. And then they've just beaten Arsenal 3-0, and their defender, Joachim Anderson's got 2 assists, bruh.
Yeah,
like it's his playing out from the back is great. So yeah,
best Danish centre back in London, just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
been saying this. Best Danish centre back in London. Just saying it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Actually gets on the pitch, you don't be holding bench like a certain guy in West, but we move.
He won't be holding bench. He'll be holding plane. He'll be off to Barcelona.
He's off to Barcelona, innit? Yeah. Hold that, Lewis. Hold that. But yeah, this one of blogger saying Zaha. Yeah, because Zaha can play on the right. He does, if I remember correctly, he does predominantly play on the left for
we got
him.
Barnes.
But yeah, you got players over that side as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, what it is. But we're gonna close out the show, people. Neil, anything you want to first big up for jumping on? Secondly, anything you want to plug or anything you want to promote before you leave, and let them know where they can find you and everything else you've got going on as well.
No, just make sure to tune in Beyond the 90 LCFC, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. But yeah, no, thanks for having me on. It was just I was thinking, I've not spoke to you properly about Man United. I was like, right, I need to get your thoughts on this. I might as well just jump on when I can. So yeah, pick up yourself, Flawless. It'll be good to see you at the weekend as well for the first time.
Oh yeah, 100%. We'll talk about it after. Yeah, afterwards definitely. I've been thinking about that. Like looking forward to that night is gonna be. It's gonna be good. All the characters and that. It's gonna be good. Neil has frozen, but yeah, Beyond the 90, like you said there, people. That's for all Leicester City content. Make sure you follow him across all his socials. You can catch him on Shameless FC alongside myself. ManDem United will be back Thursday, people. As always, we'll be back Thursday, 5 p.m. What else we got coming up today? We will be doing on the Twitch. We got 3 streams coming up on the Twitch tonight. So, of course, we will be doing Manchester City versus Atletico Madrid Champions League watch-along. That'll be on the Twitch. Then there's 2 NBA watch-alongs as well. I believe it is the Bulls versus the Bucks and the Lakers versus the Suns, people. So, yeah, of course, the Chicago Bulls versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Those 2 jockeying for position, playoff position, high in the Eastern Conference. And then you have the Lakers and the Suns. Obviously, the Suns have confirmed they're first in the West, and the Lakers trying to get into the play-ins, not even the playoffs. So that's going to be interesting, people. Discono Blogger says, last question for Neil. When you guys were dropping points, did you fear Rodgers would lose his job?
Yes. And he was probably a game away from getting sacked.
What game saved?
To be honest with you. It was what was it? Going back now. Leeds and the game before Leeds. I can't remember who it was. We didn't win back-to-back all season. And then we were, as I mentioned on Shameless, the fact that we were getting towards the relegation zone. But in recent times, we've gone on a run. What game was it? Man United, Brentford, that saved him as well. Is it February? Yeah, we got knocked out. February was terrible because we got knocked out. What was it? 1 to Burnley. Yeah, that was it. Burnley and then Leeds. That saved him pretty much because the owners are ruthless. And if he would have lost 7 games without a win, he would have gone. So 1 game and people coming back from injury saved him. So yeah, he was close to it. But they started Claudio Ranieri when we just went into the relegation zone, and he had a lot more credit in the bank than Brendan Rodgers.
Okay, no, fair enough. But yeah, love to everyone who has locked in. Like I said, go make sure you follow Neil across all his socials, people. Make sure you do that. Like I said, back here, well, not back here, on the Twitch. Link is underneath in the description. Like I said, City versus Atletico Madrid. I'll start 7:45. And then we've got 2 NBA watch-alongs. We have the Bulls versus the Bucks and the Lakers versus the Suns, people. Check out the upcoming live stream schedule on the YouTube. Go hit the like button and notification bell on each individual video. Do the same for Twitch as well, people. You can go and check out the Twitch, the upcoming live stream schedule, all the Champions League watch-alongs, NBA, plus more. Go and check all of that out. But this show, ManDem United, will be back on Thursday. We'll be looking ahead to the Everton game as well. And yo, man, just love to everyone who continues to support, man. Big up to you lot. Catch you lot over on the Twitch shortly. And this has been the ManDem United podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.